All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us on tonight's team call. It is the last week of March. So that means we have a whole 7 days, or almost 8 days, to help as many people as we possibly can. Hopefully you saw my live video in the team page. I think I did that like last Friday or something. But we really need to use those my BFF promo codes to our advantage. And I might have said this on last week's team call as well, but I'm going to say it again. Reach out to those people who were, you signed up as coaches from January until now because they got a my BFF $40 off code. So number one, you're going to nudge them and say, hey, do you know anybody that would want to join you and do this alongside with you? They get $40 off of the same package that you got. How simple is that? If they say no, well, hey, if you're not going to use it, do you mind sending it to me so I can help benefit somebody else? That is great because one, you might have gotten a new coach, right, in the works if they can get somebody, a buddy to join them. And two, you might get a $40 off to give somebody else that, you might have gotten the objection of price. That would absolutely help them. And if you guys are reaching out to people and they're like, I don't see this, my BFF code, send me their email. I can message VIP, and they've been really good. And they're just resending those links out. So if you need, if you've talked to one of your coaches and they didn't get it, just send me their email address and we can get you guys a new code just like that. So use that to your advantage. Like I said, it ends March 31st. So you have up until then to get these $40 off my BFF codes from any new coach that signs up. You have until April 31st to actually use those codes. So if they don't have anybody now, or say it's April and you're still reaching out to people, well, don't wait that long, right? Just know that you still have that buffer for people to actually use it by the end of April. So just know that. Salted caramel, woo, came out today. Hopefully you guys are getting your hands on it. Last time it sold out, I think within like 48 hours. So if you want that, hop on it. They reformulated it to make the taste even better. So if last time you're like, meh, wasn't my favorite, I think this time they're like, they got it. So go check that out as well. 30-day breakaway is now available in the BOD membership library. So you can get a whole brand new challenge group started just with that, right? Like they don't know that it like launched however long ago, right? Like it's brand new to them. So freaking relaunch it again and use that. Especially, hello, the weather is so freaking nice out. That might be a really great way to get new people coming in. What else? We have Team Summit that we're doing in Atlantic City. I found a house. I didn't get it yet because I'm waiting for you guys to send me your money. So either PayPal me or Venmo me. We have 11 people signed up so far. Once we reach that 20 people limit, that's it. If we need to get another house, we absolutely can. But get that to me ASAP, lock in your spot. And then if you're not going to be coming and staying overnight, we're going to be doing like a Saturday beach day and probably just hopefully we could party in Atlantic City with the whole COVID thing will be done and over with. So that is what we will have planned for Saturday, because the actual training for Summit is going to be Wednesday through Friday. So that's July. Let me just look at my calendar again. So it's going to be July 14th through the 16th is actually Summit like training. And then the 17th is when we'll just have fun out in Atlantic City, go to dinner, beach, all that fun jazz. So get me that stuff, PayPal, Venmo, ASAP. It's $432 for staying over that Wednesday until that Sunday. So it's a really awesome house and great time to just hang out, be together, unwind, and not think about anything else, right? Except for ourselves and have fun. I think that's it for announcements because we have a awesome guest speaker, and I'm so grateful that he was able to get on tonight. I know a lot of you are super excited to hear him again because he was at our Philly Super Saturday, and I just said to him, I'm like, how long, like going to an actual event seems like eons ago. Dave, I have no idea. How long ago was that?
Maybe 19.
Was it? I feel like it was at least last year.
Well, 20, we was shut down in March, and I don't think it was January or February. It may have been January.
You know what? It goes by like so fast. So I know everyone's super excited to hear Dave speak. And if you don't know Dave, he's an 8-star diamond coach, 2-time elite, 2020 premier. Get this one, Success Club All-Star legend, 113 months. Booyah. Like that is freaking, man, that's so good. And what I love about him is, guys, he just left his full-time job this year, correct, Dave?
Mhm.
22 years.
22 years. I just left the end of a couple months ago, just the end of last year.
Incredible. So that means he was able to work this business and build it up incredibly while being a cop for 22 freaking years. And another awesome thing is him and his wife, Kristen, do this together. And they have 3 kids. So if you have been having excuse-itis, I know Dave is going to bring it tonight and just kind of share his story and just like how to own your business. And I think he's done that absolutely beautifully. So I'm super excited. Dave, thank you so much.
No, of course. And hello, everybody. I love seeing everybody that turned their camera on because this is a relationship marketing business, friend. So I'm calling everybody out that's in hiding. Maybe you're driving, so don't be messing up with that and doing that. But thank you, Rosemarie. It's an honor to come on here with you guys tonight. I love just pouring whatever I can into you guys. And I thought I would open up and just kind of open up with my story. Like Rosemarie said, I'm married to my wife, Kristen. She's a 6-star diamond coach. We are both full-time coaches right now. I'm 43 years old. She just turned 44, so I'm a little bit behind her. But we have 3 daughters, 16, one just turned 13, and a 9-year-old. We've been coaches for about 10 and a half years. I actually started first. We were the reversed, where it's always the mom that starts or the female, and then the unsupportive husband, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. I was actually the other way around, and I started, and then Kristen joined me, and we were able to retire her 5 years ago. She was a teacher, elementary education, and she had her master's degree. Oh, I just got bounced off.
You're still on.
I'm still on?
Yeah, you're good.
It just, my screen just went off. Oh, there it is. It just said you've been signed in from another device. Let me just make sure that Kristen is not trying to log on for another team call.
Sometimes if I open up like my other laptop,
that's what I think it was.
It will do that, yeah.
So we were able to retire her. She had her master's degree plus 60 credits. And when this opportunity, this gift, I'm just going to say that, guys, this is a gift. And I did a live video on our team page, and something you're going to learn with me in this, if you heard me speak right now, I'm passionate. I tend to go off the cuff. I really don't have notes, but I really believe wholeheartedly that this is a gift that's changed our life and allowed us to be where we are now. Like the thought that Kristen and I, today on a random Tuesday, are home, both working this full time. And at 2 o'clock, we went outside and sat in the sun. I'm like, this is crazy. But the thing, what most people don't understand is that, yes, it's unconventional. Yes, it's not your typical 9 to 5. Yes, it's not what I did with the state police for 22 years. But if you want to live an unconventional life, we have to be willing to do unconventional things. And there's a lot that goes with that, which is some of the things I think I'm going to hit on ownership tonight, because I feel that if what is in between these 2 ears isn't right, then nothing else is really going to matter, because you have to be thinking, positively, because your beliefs become your thoughts, and your thoughts become your actions, and your actions are going to dictate your success. So rewind 10 and a half years ago, I was the dad, about 25 pounds heavier. Kristen struggled losing the baby weight. I was the gym goer. I was a marathon runner, ran New York City Marathon twice, ran running races, but I was also, at the time I didn't know, but I was running the rat race of getting up in the morning, just getting up in enough time to get the kids off to daycare or school. And at the time when we started, we only had 2 kids. And then I would eat whatever was available at work. I would eat fast food. We'd order pizza. Police officers, we have to be so healthy to get in the police academy and stay in the academy, but the stress of the job tends to lead you down a different path once you go on. And we weren't like thriving in life. We were barely surviving in life. And that went on for quite a while until, in my story, it's kind of funny, a buddy of mine was trying to get me to do P90X. Was anybody here back when P90X was going on? Like, I don't see any. Oh, there's one person. I think I saw Miranda. Because that's where I started. And I'll tell you guys, I was the person that was like, I'm not doing at-home workouts. That stuff doesn't work. That's Richard Simmons with the headband. Like, I go to the gym. And that went on for quite a few months. And it wasn't until my friend who wanted me to do this, where the DVDs were collecting dust on my desk, we got sent to Houston, Texas for a murder case where a very important witness that was involved in witnessing a homicide case fled out of the state to Houston, Texas. So we flew out to Houston, Texas together. I know I'm kind of giving you a police story, but maybe this interests you. And we found this person. We did the interview. We got everything we needed. And I'm a big baseball fan. Like, I'm a big New York Met fan. Hopefully this is our year, please God. But I wanted to see a baseball game. I said, hey, let's go to the Houston Astros baseball game. And he's like, hey, we can go to the baseball game, but you're doing the ab workout from P90X. And I'm like, fine. He goes, we're doing it in the hotel room, and then we'll go. And I did it, and it killed me. I couldn't keep up. It was absolutely like eye-opening. And I said, I was so sore the next day, and I said, all right, maybe there's something to us. So I reluctantly, and I say that strongly, guys, because I want you to put yourself in the shoes of people that are telling you, no, it doesn't work. And remember, it's never a no, it's a not right now. Because if my friend, who's no longer a coach, if he wasn't persistent and I wasn't willing to try, even though I didn't want to, I wouldn't be where I am today. But I tried, and then I reluctantly did P90X and got great results. And what happened, for all of you that have spouses that maybe aren't supporting you, remember this. They are not going to support you, but they're watching you. And if you are somebody that's starting and stopping and starting and stopping, why would they believe in what you are saying is going to help you build a business and get healthy and fit? And I feel that's so true, because when so often we have people on our team that say that their spouses aren't supporting them, but they show up 50% of the time, of course their spouses don't support them because they're only giving it 50%. So the first thing to get support of a spouse is really for you to show them that, in fact, that this will work. So for me, I stuck with it. And Kristen watched. She was the window watchers, the people that sit there and see what you're going to do. The ones that right now, all of you on this call, have window watchers in your business right now that are watching you and are this close to maybe in reaching out to be in your bod group or challenge group, but are sitting there and seeing if Jen or Rosemarie or Barbara or Lisa, if you are really who you say you are. Like, are you really doing this coaching thing? Are you really doing these workouts? Do they really work? So you have to stick with it, because when I did, Kristen eventually said, I'm going to try this too. And that went on, and then she started losing the baby weight. And I'm a big believer that being a product of the product is 100% matched to your level of success. And then from there, guys, I signed up as a coach for the discount. Another thing I want everybody to realize, I signed up for the discount only. And that's because so many of us sign up at discount coaches and we kind of write them off. But you don't know what belief may be struck within them or what aha moment they may have. I so much was a discount coach that I would have people come to me and be like, David, what are you doing? How'd you lose all the weight? And I would send them to beachbody.com to buy the program, because I want to have nothing to do with coaching, because all I wanted was my discount. But I finally decided that I started seeing some people having success. I started seeing people paying off big amounts of debt. I started seeing people winning, like purchasing brand new cars, earning six figures. And I kind of like sat back and window watched the other successful coaches. And I decided to go to Summit by myself. I flew out, broke as hell. We were $100,000 in debt, living to paycheck, stressed out, fighting over grocery bills, but I just wanted to go. And I went to Summit and flew out there by myself. And guys, I did that because I didn't realize then, but I'm telling you now, that is having a vision. And having a vision is seeing something before you even achieve it. Like closing your eyes and saying, holy cow, I'm going to achieve it. Because if you don't have a vision, we perish. If you're not looking to go somewhere, like right now, my goals are bigger than ever. Like, I don't care that I've hit the legacy club and I've achieved these things. Of course I care. I'm grateful for it. But where we want to go, like I'm 10Xing right now because it's such a gift and I want to go to another level. But my vision back then started with me getting to Summit. And I finally saw another male coach speak on stage. His name was Tommy Migrant. And I finally had my aha light bulb moment. I was like, if he can do this, I can do it. And it started with me going back home. And I was always on the phone and it wasn't helping my marriage. But sitting down with Kristen and actually telling her, I think this is the answer to us getting out of the debt that we're in. I think this is the answer to helping us not live paycheck to paycheck. And she still says to this day, she wanted to believe me, but she didn't because it was just a thing. It was the coaching thing, and she really didn't think it was going to work. And that's where it comes to you guys. Recognize that you, in fact, have to stick it out and stay there and understand that your harshest critics and the people that you expect to support you, spouse, coworkers, family, and friends, probably won't because you're doing something that's unconventional. Truth. So for me, I kept working it and I kept doing things. But I'll also tell you guys, early on, I was waiting for my coach to tell me what to do. I was waiting for my upline. I was waiting for my Rosemary to tell me what to do. I was waiting for them to tell me how to invite. I was waiting for them to tell me, to host the team calls. I was waiting for them to tell me what to do. I was waiting for them to free me. And that's super sad. I think I said something like, I realized they didn't need to free me. I need to free myself. And what I mean by that is if we play as coaches the victim mentality, life is very short. We don't know when our last day on earth may be. And for those of you that know my whole story, my best friend was shot and killed in the state police, April 25th, 2007. That's a big part of what drives me because I always say life doesn't always fire a warning shot. And right now, some of you may be waiting for things to be perfect. You may be waiting to have more time. You may be waiting for this pandemic to end. You may be waiting for your kids to be back in school full time. And I'm here to tell you, you may not be here tomorrow. Because a week before my best friend died, not even 4 days before, I remember that phone call with him talking about the vacation we had with our families that we had planned for the Outer Banks that summer. And he was dead 4 days later. And I was frantically calling him on the phone when I got wind of one of our SWAT guys getting shot. And he was gone in an instant. That's why I live my life every single day as if it may not be here tomorrow. And I don't use life circumstances as excuses. Because the reason why most people aren't succeeding is we play the victim mentality and we blame our circumstances of life on why we aren't succeeding. But once you take ownership and you do things like getting on a team call that you ran for your 1 or 2 coaches when nobody shows up, and you record yourself doing the call, because back then we had a service, it was called free conference calling, and I would record myself on the call with nobody on and post that darn thing to our team page and said it was the best call ever. And guys, I laugh at it now, but that's ownership. I Googled and YouTubed my way to success because I forgot to mention my coach that I signed up through quit. like 2 months into me being a coach. And you know where he placed me? On his inside leg. And you know where his coach placed him? On his inside leg. So I was on an island. And I say that for those of you that are saying you're not in a strong leg, your coaches aren't building under you. I became $1 million earner on an inside leg with a coach that quit that had no effing help. Excuse my language, but I do get passionate because it's truth. We sit here and say, I'm not succeeding because my upline didn't place coaches under me. I'm here saying you're not succeeding because you're a product of the choices and decisions you made up until this point. It has nothing to do with anybody else. So for me, once I learned to free myself and not wait for other people to take ownership and tell me what to do, when I took ownership, it was a mind shift like no other. I knew that I was going to succeed no matter what. I knew that I didn't have a plan B, right? I only had a plan A. You know, if your desire to change is stronger than the desire to stay the same, then you're going to make it happen. So what are some of the things I kind of talk about when it comes to ownership? And I'm looking down here, I wrote like 3 or 4 words. Like the first thing I have is sacrifices. Guys, you can't do the same thing the next 30 days in your life and expect it to change, okay? We only all have 86,400 seconds in a day, but you choose what you do with those 86,400. That's a lot of time, okay? So for me early on, I had to give up watching TV, watching the New York Mets game every night. I had to give up the softball leagues because my desire was to pay off the debt and to improve, and I had to make sacrifices, right? Because when it's a priority, guys, we find a way, right? We find a way. If it's not a priority, what do they say? We find an excuse. So for me, it became a priority, right? And I found the way to do my personal development, even though some people, oh, I don't have time to read. BS, you're driving in your car to work, make it a mobile university, put it on audio. You shower every day, hopefully, and you're getting dressed. Listen to your books on Audible. Listen to YouTube videos. You do clean up dishes and clean your house. Put your headphones in and listen to your books. Ownership, it became non-negotiable, guys. We all have the hidden minutes of time. What are your hidden minutes that you're not, in fact, using to the fullest of your ability? We spend so much time scrolling social media, okay? So for me, number one is you have to make sacrifices. You know what they are, okay? Maybe it's a little bit of sleep. Listen, if you're broke and you have no money, you should not be getting like 8 or 9 hours of sleep. I'm sorry. Like, get 6 or 7 hours and sleep faster. That's my message for you guys, all right? Like, I go to bed still now. My alarm goes off at 4:50 a.m. I'm in bed by like 10:30. I get about 6 hours, a little more, and then I get up, all right? I still get up at 4:50 even when I worked full-time at the state police. And guys, I retired my last position just to kind of put the scope to this. I retired as a captain in the state police. I ran all state police operations for the entire county, county of Westchester County in New York. We took on average 400,000 to 500,000 911 calls a year. I had about 120 state troopers, sergeants, lieutenants, and the whole 911 center under my command. I had a second cell phone. My phone rang 24/7, 365. Okay, and I did this while working that busy. I was a state trooper, but I didn't do my shift and go home because running the county, there is no home. I was always on. Okay, and I can tell you now, being here, the biggest word that Kristen and I use and why I want you guys to know it's so worth it is freedom, guys. Freedom. Because yesterday at a random 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the weather changed here in the Northeast. I'm like, I want to go for a run. I still like to run. I did my leg workout from MBFA in the morning. Super sore, but I went out for a run. Why? Because I can. The freedom that we have, right? So you have to make sacrifices. Number 2, guys, organized. You have to treat this like a business. If you have yellow sticky notes and multiple pages of notes and notebooks and you're not organized, you're not using your time wisely, okay? For me, in the beginning, I would scroll my inbox, and I know probably people on here do it. You can show me your hands if you do. I would scroll my inbox and look for the people I need to follow up with or message or answer. Now, like, I am laser focused. I log in. I'm a digital guy. Everything's on the computer. Today, I remember it was 21 follow-ups for people. I'm in, I'm out. I'm doing it. I'm very diligent with my time because I'm organized. Okay? You need to be organized too. You have to remember, if you want to make, I'm just going to use $100,000 in this business, are you putting in $100,000 effort? Like, if you were to self-audit yourself right now, let me take it even one step further. If you were your own boss and you were paying yourself $100,000 right now, would you fire yourself for the work and effort you're putting in right now? You have to ask yourself that, because we have people that their effort doesn't match their expectations. We all wish, but we're not willing to work. We all want the trophy of a champion, but we're not willing to put in the work what it takes to be a champion. And guys, more times than not, this business is about what you do in the dark when nobody's watching. What are you doing when you're sitting in like this is my office and there's the chair on the side and it's 9:30 at night and you know you probably should invite 5 more people, but you're exhausted and Rosemary isn't watching you, so you don't have an upline like elite coach there checking on what you're doing, and you're sitting there. What you do in the dark brings you out in the light. That's the truth. So for me, like, you have to be willing to treat this in a way of what you want to earn. And guys, if you want to be a discount coach and you just want to earn enough to pay for your Shakeology, then awesome. Kudos to you. Like, that's totally cool. Where I have a problem is when people talk about what they want or what they're gonna do. And I often joke the most dangerous gun is the gunna. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Right? Like, guys, don't talk about it. Take the necessary steps and take action and self-audit yourself. Self-audit your timeline in your newsfeed. Would you follow yourself? Like, look at your social media. Would you follow yourself? That's a big question that somebody said to me once, and I went back. I'm like, well, I'm posting once every 5 days, and probably not because I'm non-existent. All right, guys. Then another one is consistency. This is a big one because this is the number one thing I see what happens. People start and stop and start and stop and start and stop over and over and over again. And the best analogy I can give you is it's like running up, and Pat Reelman talks about this, another male leader. I also talked about from compound effect when you're trying to pump well water, but I'll give you the escalator example. It's like when you're a little kid and you're trying to run up the down escalator, right? You're in Macy's, you're in the department store, you're trying up the down escalator. And in the beginning, you're running as hard as you can, and like you're not getting anywhere, right? And you run a little bit more and you have all this resistance, and the resistance is lack of support, naysayers, it's a pyramid scheme, that doesn't work, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. And then all of a sudden, like, you have all this resistance, but you keep pressing, and almost you're just about at the top of that escalator to step off and finally have those window watchers come to you that you don't even know exist, but you stop for whatever reason. You will go back to the bottom in a half a second. And then you're starting all over again because people that saw you doing it saw that all of a sudden you're not doing it anymore. And that's consistency. And what do I hear so often is why people aren't consistent? I'm too busy. Guys, that's a mindset thing. We're all busy, right? We all have the same amount of time. If it's a priority, we will do it. We'll find a way to make it happen. So consistency, I've been through death in the family. I've been through when Kristen's mom a couple years ago, who was so involved in our life, was diagnosed with cancer, and they couldn't even figure out what the cancer was at Sloan Kettering here in New York. They diagnosed it as CUPS, cancer of unknown primary source. And I watched my mother-in-law, from a healthy human being that was vibrant, alive, and there for her grandkids all the time, pass away in 3.5 months. It was that fast. And that was an eye-opener for Kristen of taking our health seriously. It was another eye-opener for me of how important it is to take care of our life and to live each day as if it's our last. But more importantly, it made me realize that I had to keep showing up. I had to be consistent, right? And let me tell you, your mess, you may have heard this before, your mess is your message. Your biggest struggles, when you're going through that and you're sharing that, is what is going to make you relatable more than the other coach. Because somebody else is going through what you're going through, or worse than what you're going through. So showing up in the tough times show a true character of who you are. Only showing up when things are good, people know they're good. It's what you do when you get knocked down, right? So guys, the big thing, sacrifices, staying organized, consistency, and some of the ownership looks like making sure you're on these team calls. So for those of you that are on, kudos to you. Treating your team calls like doctor's appointments, right? Getting on the national wake-up call. If you can't get on live, like I always struggled with, I would listen in my police car on the way home from work. That was what I listened to on Mondays, right? The business activity tracker. Are you using the new digital business activity tracker, or are you spending time managing your business? This is managing your business, guys. You get up, you look at your notifications, you check in with all your groups, you check in with the team page, you check in with the challenge group, you watch training videos all day, you scroll social media, you get your workout in, you drink your Shakeology, super important, but then you go to bed exhausted because all you did was manage your business. You didn't do the business building activities of expanding your network, of inviting, of following up. Those are the most important things, that second section in the business activity tracker. But are you using it? Because if you're using it and you are true to doing this stuff every day and you're not succeeding, you will see the holes of why you're not succeeding. This business has no prejudice. If you do the work, everybody wins, 100%. There's an abundance of people out there that need our help. So using the business activity tracker, Success Club, guys, it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You can't expect to build this business if you're not hitting Success Club, right? And stop. We can't latch on to those 3 people that talked about what they were gonna purchase and you're waiting for them to purchase. Every single day, you need to be growing, you need to be expanding, and you need to be inviting people every single day. Our team just ran something, I think it was the week, Rosemary, we were talking, we did like a massive, we called it Road to Success Club. We did 100 invites one day and 50 invites another. It was scary, scary AF. But you know what's going on with our team right now? A lot of people hitting Success Club and getting momentum. We just went in and just full throttle, made a list and did 100 invites in a day. That took on a massive level to create momentum and hitting Success Club. So yes, for me, Success Club, 100 whatever months, I make it as my benchmark, and that's what took me to 6 figures, guys. Making sure I hit it every single month, because if you're hitting Success Club, you're bringing in new customers or coaches, and if you're bringing them in, you're going to help them get results, and you're going to convert them to coaches and hopefully working coaches, all right? That's the benchmark you have to hit. And guys, personal development. Okay. I didn't do that in the beginning. I was the typical guy. I don't need that rah-rah stuff. I'm not going to do it. I don't need it. But guys, every single day, like these are the books just from the last couple of months, like right next to, we have a whole library, but like, this is my life. Oh, forgot one more. And John Maxwell, if you guys want to know, is my favorite author. Okay. This is super important to me. Okay. If we live our life waking up every single day, and we wake up, we turn on the news, we listen to the news on the radio, and we scroll social media, you are not going to be a good mindset place to be able to handle those no's and those naysayers and critics and build this business and push through when it's hard. It's just not going to happen. I am obsessed with improvement. Like the David I am right now is not the David I was 10 years ago. And I'm here to tell you, the coach you are right now cannot be the same coach you need to be tomorrow to hit whatever your goals are. It can't be. You have to grow. There's a saying from Danny Johnson that is, your level of personal growth will match the bottom line of your bank account. When I finally committed to reading, and they say 10 minutes a day, guys, I'll tell you, for me, it's probably upwards of an hour, because when I'm in the car, I'm always listening to YouTube motivational stuff or podcasts. I'm reading every morning before I sit down and doing any work. I'm obsessed with improvement because I want my mind, which is a brain too, to constantly be fueled with the right stuff so that I have the vision and belief for that. So you have to ask yourself, if you are struggling right now, are you doing PD or are you not? And more times than not, if you're not doing PD, that's what's holding you back. And if you are struggling, you need to double down on your personal development. Okay. So guys, just kind of to wrap up, and I'll open it up to any questions. My big thing is ownership. And just to let you guys know that you don't need belief from anybody else. You don't need vision from anybody else. You don't need it from your neighbor or from the person out the window to your left or right. The only person you need is the person you see in the mirror every single day, and that's you. And if nobody else believes in you, I want to let you know that I believe in you, because if I can do this, each of you can do this 100%. All right. Just have the belief, take full ownership, don't look back, and you 100% can do whatever you want to accomplish. I'm open for questions, guys, if there's anything there.
Yeah, Dave, you made us gut check. And I love when you said about Facebook. You wake up, you do this, you do this. And I think I saw a few people go, oh shit, that's me. That's me. But hey, you know what? It's all about just being aware of your actions. And if you're able to be aware and see, all right, I'm not really actually doing my business, I'm just letting the day take control of me. Now you can take a hold, get that bat out, and start doing that section 2 over and over. And if you guys were on, we did like a power hour, was it last night? I don't even know what day it is. Last night, where, you know, she said that's all she does that section 2 over and over and over. If you want more success, go do that section 2 a few more 100 times, and then you can get there. Yeah, we all love the tough love. So who has any questions? This is your chance.
I have a question.
Yes, Ashley.
As a male coach, how do you go about inviting people? Like, it sounds like a weird question, but like, is it a different, like, are you just you? Like, how did you have a way to invite as a male coach? It just seems like it would be different versus a female coach.
I don't open it up with, hey girl, because that's the script that we see everywhere. I will say, no, I don't have much of a difference. But what I do if I'm inviting females, because I'm purely building cold market right now, I do reference Kristen a lot. And if it's on Instagram, I will put her handle in the message when I open up and connect with them, just so they don't think I'm a male creeper, and they can go look at her page and see that, you know, who we are. But no, I invite and I don't attach emotion to it. You know, that's the biggest thing. I think we all get caught up in the no's. Oh my God, I get so many no's. And that's what our team struggled with when we did this massive inviting. But I invite and go on to the next. It's a numbers game. I just play the numbers, you know? So my invite is, I have a script for it, and I can tell you what I say when I invite people, but it's nothing fancy. It is just.
You don't feel awkward inviting females, right?
No, because I have learned to not care what other people think. Like, it doesn't even faze me.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
And that's a personal growth thing, because I did feel awkward inviting anybody in the beginning. And then I recognized, I'm going to invite females. All right, so I'll reference Kristen. But I am literally at the point where I don't care what people think. And I just invite because I believe in the gift that this is, and I want everybody to have it. Guys, I actually think everybody in this world needs what we have. They just may not know it yet. Like, that's how I live, and that's why I invite. So, no, I don't think so. This is why I kind of write. So I want to throw this out there. My wife, Kristen, and I are quickly penciling people in for our next 30-day online fitness boot camp. We have a few spots left, and I wanted to invite you to do it alongside Kristen and I. I thought of you based off of our conversations and what we have in common. Would you like to hear more about it, David? That's my invite. And I use that after I form them, after I talk to them. I'm not a big cold invite person. If people are watching my stories, I will do an invite. I'll go right to the invite, which is kind of where I did the massive invite like 2 weeks ago. But I'm about connecting with somebody, finding a common ground, building the relationship. So then when I do invite, it's not a cold invite. And that's what I do. Copy, paste, send. That's all.
Love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Who else?
So Barb had a question, what's your favorite PD? But I think we need to get a little bit more specific, Barb. So maybe if you can say like what you're needing for your PD, then I think maybe that would be a little bit.
Personal development. What like book is like one of your favorites that kind of like you just like set all your emotions aside and like kind of just like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it now and this is how I want it to run my business. Like you kind of like just put everything out there that you got like out of your head.
So I think the biggest book, my favorite book is The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. That was the eye opener for me of what he said that needed to be done to make a big change in your life. And those 15 laws, I've read that book quite a few times. So that, I mean, we recommend to our new coaches that sign up to go to Compound Effect first, which I've read, which is a great book. My favorite is 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John Maxwell. And I will say he's my favorite author and I read everything that he ever puts out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else?
What system do you use for your following, tracking, follow-ups?
So I don't know if you guys heard of Teamzy.
Yeah.
So I use Teamzy, but I don't use Teamzy for what Teamzy is. I only use Teamzy to simply have a system that I can log in and it says, these are the 10 people you need to follow up today. Because in Teamzy, you can put the person's information in. I type a little message of what the conversation was about, and then I set the follow-up for whatever the date is. And then when that date comes and I log in, I see exactly who I have to follow up with. Teamzy has a lot more stuff in there. I don't use it. So I think that the thing is that you need to have something in place so you can be efficient with your time, so you know exactly who you should be connecting and following up with. Like spending 3 minutes just to scroll your inbox for me is a waste of 3 minutes. Like so that's how when people say, how did you have 3 kids, work the state police, and build this business? It's because I controlled my hours. They didn't control me. From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, it's scheduled in. So that's why I use Teamzy just because it works for me. I've been using it for a couple of years. You guys
I tried it and it confused the shit out of me. So I stopped.
Right.
But
So it confuses the shit out of me too. That's why I only use it for one thing. So you just need to find something. Some people use Google Streak, like Kristen used that. Some people like pen and paper. I'm not a pen and paper person because I feel like it's scattered. Like I need to be able to see a list of people I need to follow up with today. So again, Teamzy allowed me to just deal with that one piece of all the things they have.
All right, cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Who else?
All right, we got some in the chat. When people are watching your stories and you send them a cold invite, what does that look like compared to someone you've built a connection with? Example, you have thanked them for viewing your stories and then continue to watch you for weeks. So what does your cold invites look like versus someone that you've been connecting with?
So I simply will say, hey, thank you for watching my stories. Are you into fitness too? That's kind of the icebreaker. And then I have the conversation and I say, and this is quote unquote, have you ever considered joining one of my groups? End quote. Have you ever considered joining one of my groups? And I say that in a way, guys, if you kind of follow me here, I'm almost saying, I am saying it in a way as if they should know about it already. Like, have you ever considered joining one of my groups? And more times than not, they're like, oh no, what is it? Tell me more about it. And then I can go into what it is. So I always go back, are you into fitness too? And then I would go to, have you ever considered joining one of my groups? For my massive inviting, like straight up cold that went last week, let's see, I made a script for that. I could tell you guys what it is. I have to find it. But I think it was towards the lines, you know what, I wrote it one day and I was just copying and pasting. I wrote it towards the line, thank you so much for watching our stories. I appreciate that. I'm just wanting to throw this out there. Kristen and I are starting a new group of people on Monday, and we're looking for a few more people to join our challenge group. Would you like to hear more about it? That's it. Guys, I really try to keep it very informal. I think that's the key. I think so often we try to make it so formal. Would you like to join my challenge group? Like, keep it light and give them an out. say, hey, I was just thinking, I just want to throw it out there. If not, no worries, have a great day and I'll talk to you soon. Because there's that level of comfort. It doesn't need to be so scripted, even though I use a script. My script is a very light conversation.
Awesome. And then do you and Kristen work out together? Do you guys do the same program, or does she do her thing and you do your thing?
So 99% of the time, we do work out together, and 99% of the time we are doing the same program. We did 9-week, here's an example. We did 9-week Control Freak together. We started and finished it together. I'm keeping it real. I wanted a break from Autumn and I wanted some more weights. I'm like chest day and upper body, 9-week Control Freak. I want more arms. I want more shoulders. So I'm doing MBFA right now. She's doing Off the Wall. But like we're doing the Ultimate Reset starting on April 12th. We'll do it together. We did 6 weeks of the work together, P90X. We always work out together. And we do it before our kids get up in the morning. And it's been that way since we shifted our life 10 years ago. So like I said, my alarm is a 4:50 a.m. wake up. And my morning routine is very structured too. I wake up, go juice. I meditate, which is something I've incorporated in my life. I work out. I don't check my inbox. All my notifications, banners, everything is off on my phone because I want to take care of me first. And Kristen and I, our time together with our workouts, and then we can tackle the day and be ready to handle what life throws at us. Sorry for the long answer with Kristen, but that's kind of what we do. But we do everything together.
Awesome. And then for your new connections, about how long do you wait before you send an invite? So I guess how long does Team Z tell you to
Yeah.
invite
So
them?
I said it, every person that I connect with new, I follow up with them in a week. Very consistently, and just to touch base and have conversation. And then the week after that, I do an invite. So it's 3 conversations over 2 weeks. That's kind of my system for me. I'm very, like, Kristen's more kind of, she talks to people, invites when she feels comfortable. I'm more like, I like to be very structured. And I think that's just the difference of personalities. I'm more of like, I don't know if you guys that did any of the personality plus, but I'm like a caloric, or in gems, I'm a ruby. Like, I'm just want to be efficient. I want to be structured. I want to be done. Kristen is more the personal, touchy feely. So she's a little bit more loose with that. But for me, it's first conversation to connect. A week later, follow up, touch base. And then I invite the week after that. And if there's stuff coming up and I do see it on my newsfeed, and I don't really scroll my newsfeed really at all. Maybe if I'm at night on the couch and business is done, and now that I have more free time because I built this business, I may look then, but I really don't waste it. That's a time sucker for sure.
Okay, another question. So if you're not, so most of the time when I'm connecting with people, it's because I'm scrolling and then stopping and then connecting with people there through that. So where do you get your people you're connecting with?
So I send friend requests, a new friend request every day. I'll go to friends' pages. Like right now, I'm focusing on local people. So I'll find friends that live local and go to their pages and send friend requests to people, because you'll be amazed at how many of them start watching your stories. And then when they start watching my stories, I can do an invite. On Instagram, I am looking at people that are following me, liking my stories, liking my post, following my stories. I'll use hashtags like girl dad, because I have 3 daughters, and I'll follow and connect with other dads that have daughters as well. And I add them to my list. Listen, if that's what you do and that's what's expanding your network to ultimately invite them, fine. But I would say more times than not, we scroll social media to scroll social media and we're not doing anything productive. But if you're doing it,
and then get caught up. Right. I'll get caught up and then forget what I'm doing.
Next thing you know, you're buying something on Amazon for the summer, and it's the truth. You get sucked into an ad, and like next thing you know, you have a cat at your porch the next day. Like, how did I buy a cat? Like it's just crazy, but it's the truth. No, I don't look at the notifications. Guys, my phone, like if you could see it, like there's nothing that ever comes up on my phone. I shut everything off. Like I don't have the little number 60 something next to Facebook or my mail inbox. It's all off, because that to me, like I want to be where my feet are. And that to me is a distraction. And when I wake up in the morning and there's banners and notifications, that's somebody else's agenda. Your inbox is somebody else's agenda. So for me, when it's family time and we're having dinner, it's family time. In the morning, when it's David's time to work out and be with Kristen and meditate, and I read John Maxwell's Daily Reader every day, I do that as PD in the morning. Like, I don't want to be caught up in distractions because, guys, we get sucked in. It's just, it's, and you don't realize part of your stress and overwhelm subconsciously is from all of that. You know, so maybe one thing, if you guys can do anything for your minds, shut off all your notifications and banners and put your do not disturb on. If you could do it automatically on the iPhone, like my phone goes on do not disturb at 9:45 at night and it doesn't go up to 6 a.m. So nothing can ding or come through my phone unless, and somebody didn't realize this, if you have people saved as your favorites, like my mom, my dad, my brother, my sisters, if they call me, it will ring, but anything else, it won't. So I don't have to worry about an emergency not coming through, but I shut it down, right? And I'll tell you, because I take so much, I'm so, not, I want to say over the top, it's not the right word, because I'm so in control of everything to make sure of what I do every day, it allows me to be a better coach and mentor and leader and build the business the way I want. Because I think most people just live life as it comes and as it throws at them, and they're stressed out and overwhelmed all the time. Who else?
I have I feel like I could talk
Yes.
all day to like a male coach, like the insights of like. I did want to say though, I don't know if I could shut my notifications off. Maybe when I hit the Legacy Club, I'll shut my notifications off, but I'm not quite there yet. So when that goes up, like I get excited because I'm excited to like help people, and I have little babies, so like time ain't on my side right now. They wake up whenever they want to wake up, but.
So Ashley, my question to you on that is like, the reason I did that is because Kristen and I noticed we were always on. And when you're always on, it leads to burnout, because I've been there too. So when I started feeling burnout, I realized I needed to, when I work, and when I need to be down, I'd be down. You follow me?
1,000%. And I have actually learned to change it this year, because when my kids are like, they go to school and they snap at the same time, I'm like, that's the work. And then I'm done after that. And then when they go to bed, I'm back on. However, I do have my phone on me like all the time. It is really hard to shut off. It is very difficult. And the morning, I wish I couldn't get those notifications, but like, that's my grind time, like the mornings and the nap, because by this time I'm so done with being with them all day.
Yeah.
My son's up at 5:30, so there's really no time in the morning to be like, just chill. But hopefully one day I will get to that. But I do have one question. Nutrition. Do you follow one of the nutrition programs as a male? I'm very intrigued by that, and how you help other males, especially if they, like a lot of women want to lose weight. How do you go to males like, oh, I want to gain muscle? Like, is there a program in nutrition you tell them about, and which one do you follow?
So I put them right in Ultimate Portion Fix or 2B Mindset.
Okay.
And I was on Ultimate Portion Fix up until probably 3 weeks ago, and I switched to 2B because I was on Plan B and I want to lose a couple more pounds, and it just stopped. And I started reading. This is what I'm reading right now, by the way, to answer your question. My book's right in order. And you guys read the book from Darren?
Oh.
The 5 Life Forces. And, obviously he's the co-creator of Shakeology. So I started reading that and I'm like, So I went to 2B. Why? Because I'm eating a lot more vegetables and fruits. Okay. And 2B counts, for those of you that know, 2B counts fruits as like a yellow, right? Not as a purple in UPF. So what I did, and I'm starting to gain traction, is I'm eating a lot more fruits and vegetables, and I've cut out all like the normal yellows of brown rice and stuff like that, and it's working for me. So right now I'm on 2B, but I've done both. For men, I basically offer one or the other because I believe in both of them. It's a matter of, do you like structure? Fine, UPF. If not, you like 2B. And then if they want to stay where they are and just gain muscle, then they go in the maintenance plan. And I really haven't had any issues with that. I think the biggest problem with males is it's ego. We're not willing to try something else. We're so set in our ways that we need to have our Metrex shakes and protein bars. And but you have a gut, dude, and you guys switch it up, you know? Like, the truth be told, like, I believe in what we have. So I think the hard thing is it's really a mindset thing to get through the men that just follow this and it's going to work. Trust the process, I guess. So I'm 2B right now, but more times than not, I've been on Ultimate Portion Fix.
Do you have a program you specifically start men off on? I mean, obviously based on their goals, but if it's like, I want to gain muscle, is there like a
Yeah.
program you tell them to start with?
Yeah, so I have a couple guys. One guy right now is a military guy. He's doing Body Beast.
Okay.
You know, that's a big one. Lift 4 is a big one. Because I
Yeah.
have guys that like to like run and lift weights. And MBF, you know, I've had some guys do that have been some CrossFitters. Oh, and then I have another guy like he's an athlete, and I put him right in 6 weeks of the work.
Okay.
You know, so for the females, I think more times than not we start them on 21-day fix. But I gauge like the military guy I have right now is gigantic. He's huge and he loves to lift heavy weights. He's in Body Beast and loving it.
Good. Okay.
So
Cool.
I think the guys are more like Lift 4, Body Beast, 6 weeks of the work, stuff with Tony Horton, stuff like that. And not that I wouldn't have them do anything autumn or any of them, but that's where most of my guys go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, last call for the night since his notifications are going to be shut off in like 15 minutes. So when you get ghosted by somebody that said that they were going to join you, do you follow up with them? How long do you wait? You know
Yes.
that question.
Yeah. So when somebody ghosts me, if they like, I'm in, I want to do it, I always follow up. You know, I'll follow up the next day. Hey, just want to touch base. I don't know if you saw the last message. I always say that. My big one, guys, that I get people to respond. And then if they don't respond, I'll tell you what I do. My big one, I always do, maybe you want to write this down. I'll say like, hey, David, I just want to follow up. I hope I didn't do something wrong. If I did, I apologize. Just want to help. I hope I didn't do something wrong. If I did, I apologize. I just want to help. Nobody wants to think that you did something wrong. That like 9 times out of 10 gets a response back. And more times than not, it's always like, I'm so busy, I'm swamped, no problem. You know, thanks for the message back. And what I do is when I start getting into the inviting mode for our next challenge group and we're close to the start date, I will follow up with them and just say, hey, I wanted to touch base. I know last month was bad timing. Would you like to join us this time around? So somebody that's almost at the point where they've said yes, they want more info, you share more info, they want to be in and they ghost you, even if they don't answer my I hope I didn't do something wrong message, I will follow up with them again like 2 to 3 weeks later, depending on when the next group starts, and I will invite them again. And I'll say, hey, I know last month was probably bad timing, and I invite them again. And I'll probably do that for at least 2 more times. And if I still get nowhere, then I cross them off my list.
Well, Dave, thank you. I know so many of the girls their like husbands are not on screen, but they're right next to them because it's like once in a blue moon we have a guy coach come on. So this was definitely one that had lots of value. So we thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And husbands, if you can hear me, support your wives, please. They're rock stars.
Yes. We are. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.
Welcome, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.